So let's start with ER diagram. Now, what is ER diagram? When we say ER diagram stands for entity relationship diagram. It is also known as ERD in short form, and generally it is called as ER diagram. Now, it is a diagram that displays the relationship between the entity sets stored in a database. In other words, ER diagram help to explain the logical structure of database. So we have already seen that whatever diagrams, TFD and decision table and the state transition diagram or data dictionary, all these are what? These are presenting a logical structure. But when we talk about the ER diagram, it is presenting a logical structure for the database only, right? So it is very helpful when defining or designing a database. We need to present or we need to define the draw the ER diagram before working on the database, so that we get the clear picture regarding the relationship between different entities and their attributes and the relation between different tables, right? So that is what we have defined, that it is a diagram that displays the relationship of entity sets stored in a database. And what is a database? Basically, database is just a collection of tables. Database is a collection of tables, right? You all are aware of this particular part. Collection of tables, right? Now, moving further, why should we use ER diagram? So the answer is from the earlier slide only. That is, ER model allows you to draw database design, which is very helpful. It is an easy graphical tool for modeling the data. So you can see this is the word we are using, modeling data. So this is information modeling, part of information modeling only. This is used for database design, already said. It helps you to identify the entities which exist in a system and the relationship between those entities. So basically, when we are going to work with ER diagram, you will get to know that what are entities. Entities are basically the tables we are going to talk about, right? Logically, when we define the entities, these are what? Entities are the tables. And we define the relationship between entities means we define the relationship between different tables, right? If this is entity 1, this is table 1, this is entity 2, then this is table 2. And what we are going to define, if we are defining the relationship between the entities, that means we are defining the relationship between the two tables, right? Now, we need to first of all understand different notations we are going to use for the ER diagram. What are those? Those are, first of all, entity. How to represent the entity? Entity can be represented in a rectangular box, right? And what can be the entity? Entity can be a person. It can be a specific, we can call it as university, school, these particular things, books, different things, different people, these can be called as entities. In generalized form, a crowd of people which are working together, let's say employees, they can be termed as entities. Now, next thing is weak entity. Weak entity, we understand further, the entity which needs help of another entity to state itself is called as the weak entity. That means this particular entity does not has its key attribute. We'll understand what is key attribute. If this particular entity is not having key attribute and it depends on this particular entity for its attribute, then it is called as the weak entity. Example, we can take it up as transaction, right? Let's say if this is transaction, right? And this is account. So in transaction, it does not have a, let's say, account name, ID specific. It is dependent on this particular entity. So in this case, transaction is a weak entity which is dependent upon the account entity, right? Next one is defined as the diamond box as relationship, and this is as identifying relationship. Oval shape is used for the attributes. What are attributes? Attributes are the properties of the entities. If I say, we'll just explain it in further slides. Next is key attribute. Key attribute is the unique attribute which defines or which uniquely identifies the entity. That means, example, if I talk about the student, student is an entity, and the key attribute of student will be the roll number, the university roll number, example, because this is unique for each and every student. So this is shown as underlined. Multi-valued attribute, that means attribute which has multiple values. Example, if I talk about the phone number of a student, there can be 2 phone numbers available for the student. So that is what multi-value. Multiple values are available for a single attribute. Then we have composite attribute. Composite attribute can be defined as, example, I define the address. So it will be like, it can be decomposed into 3, like street, then the city, and the state. So this is what, this is composite attribute. Derived attribute, an attribute which has been derived from some other. Let's say if I say age and birth date is given, so I can derive the age of a person if the birth date is given. So this is how we represent the derived age. These are notations for, basically these are the notations for relationships. This is for one relation, one-to-one relationship, one-to-many relationship. It is shown this way. It can be one teacher teaches many students, right? One student can be enrolled for one course. One and only one means this is mandatory, only one relationship can exist. This is optional one, that means 0 or 1 relationship can exist. That is called as optional one. Optional one, right? This is mandatory one, also called as. This is one-to-many relationship, and this is 0-to-many relationship. So this is what we have, different relationships. Now, as I have told you, the entity, the person, place, object, event, concept about which data is to be maintained is called as the entity, and the name of the entity is defined here. It can be a car, it can be a person, it can be student, it can be employee, etc., etc. Right? When I say car, so attribute will be, the attributes of car will be the color, the brand, the registration number. The registration number will be the unique ID, right? And many more things that will be stated as the attribute, right? Then we have relationship. What is the relationship? Relationship is defined in this particular form and diamond box, and verb phrases used. That is, relationship defines the association between the two entities. So this is given as blue car belongs to. So I'm going to use the word belongs in this particular relationship. Fine. So this is how ER diagram is defined. This is just an example of library management system ER diagram. And let's see how it is made. We have library management system in which we have defined the books as one entity, publisher as another. Then third entity is the member. Now books are borrowed, these are published, right? Books are published by a publisher, and it has been issued by a member or borrowed by a member. So we have, for the books, we have attributes author, book ID is the key attribute or the unique ID, title of the book, price of the book, and available, whether it is available or not. Then if a member needs to browse a book or borrow a book, then what happens? It has defined that the borrowed will have the relationship, and it will have the due date and return date and a issue date. Then member will have attributes, example, the name, the address of the member type, the member date, and member ID will be the key attribute, because this is the unique identification for a specific member. Then we have publisher, next entity. Publisher will have, again, ID we have seen. Again, this is the key attribute. Address can be stated as the composite attribute. If you remember, I've given you an example. Name and this is the relationship between the book and the publisher. That is, it is published by this particular publisher, right? So this is how we define the relationship. So we will, in this particular, you can state that there will be three tables. The three tables will be with the name of, first table will be with the name of book, and it will have columns which are the attributes. That is the book ID, that is the ID, then the author, the title, the price, the availability, right? So attributes will work as the column for this particular table entity name book, and the values of these particular attributes will be defined in rows. Okay, similarly the table for publisher will be defined, and similarly the table for member will be defined. So three tables are there, and there'll be relationship between these tables. So this is a logical structure for database design. That's all for this particular ER diagram. Thank you.